completely aware of the work of this committee under the leadership of Senators Gillibrand, McCaskill, and others to tackle sexual assault in the military. And it's still very much an open proposition on this committee because the question about whether sexual assault or other crimes should be treated within the Uniform Code of Military Justice or separately is something that we've resolved for now to try within the chain of command. But we're testing the evidence. We're looking at the data to determine if that was right or not. And many of us, if we conclude that we're not getting the results that we want, even those of us who have supported chain of command in the past may conclude that it's just not sufficient. And it would be tragic for the Marine Corps if that decision were to be made because of a belief that the Marine Corps' bad example would cause us to make that decision for all branches, or the Marine Corps' bad example would cause us to make a decision that would be with respect to one branch of the service and not the others. And so that's the weight of this matter in a body that is still really assessing whether the military, the Marine Corps, but the other branches have the tools that they need to tackle this problem. The Marine Corps does a great job of setting people aside who don't meet physical fitness standards. The Marine Corps has done a very intense amount of work to get into the redefinition of military MOSs to provide gender-neutral standards that people need to meet to serve in MOSs. If the Marine Corps attacks this problem with the same degree of attention and passion that they attack issue like physical standards, then you're going to solve it. But I think I speak for everybody up here out of a belief that we just haven't seen that. We just haven't seen that level. General Neller, I want to ask you something. I thought your opening statement was very good, but I did have one question about it. Could you get your written statement, because we don't have copies of it here, and just read the first couple sentences of it again to me? Because I have one question about what you said.
The beginning, sir?
Yeah, just right at the very beginning.
Normally, I appear before this committee to tell you about the extraordinary things your Marines are doing at home and around the globe. But today is different. I'm here today to discuss the details of some truly disturbing and unacceptable actions that have allegedly been committed on social media.
Stop right there. That have allegedly been committed on social media. Are we talking about allegations here? Are we talking about something that has happened? I mean, it might be an allegation as to who was involved, but this is not just an allegation about something that happened on social media. This is a fact. Isn't that correct?
Senator, we're going to go into closed session. That might be a question that's most appropriate for closed session.
But I just think it's important to really make this clear. We're not talking about any individual in this hearing, and we shouldn't for the reason that you stated. But if in the public hearing this is described as alleged behavior, that there are allegations of something on social media, I don't think we're treating it with the seriousness we need to. This is not allegations about social media. This stuff happened. And the General's testimony that Marines United isn't unique, and Senator Donnelly's description of Marines United 2.0, I just think it's important that we not leave confusion with the public. That we're here just talking about some allegations of something on social media. This happened. Now, who was involved? We're not going to get into that in an open session. But I would just put that to your attention going forward, because we're talking about more than just allegations here. Secretary Stackley, let me just ask you in close. I have a hard time believing that this massive sharing of information about women in the Marines would just be limited to this branch. Talk to me about investigations into whether this is also going on in the other branches of the military.
I can't speak specifically for the other branches, but in the closed session, what I would recommend we discuss is some of the information that NCIS is arriving at through their tip line and the number of websites that indicate similar activity on other websites.
Then let me just ask it this way.
It's very important.
Do you believe this activity is limited just to the Marine Corps?
No, sir.
Thank you.
No, sir.